Welcome in, cottagers! Today I just wanted to share some of my favorite details from Flamefete, which is the summer festival in Monster Hunter Wilds. Now, this is not an exhaustive list, but just some of my favorite things to see and explore. So first up, we have, this is obviously a summer festival, and so there are all these beautiful chalk drawings of suns all around the ground. I actually took out my water gun to see if I was able to actually get them to disappear. Spoiler alert, they don't. Same thing for the palicos in their kind of fiery garb. The water gun doesn't actually wash away any of the chalk or put out any of the fires, but it, one, would have been a really cool little Easter egg, but I still figured that it was worth giving it a bit of a shot. Another really cute detail to do with the chalk suns is there is a palico that will actually make its way down to the center sun in between the quest counter and the rations area, and he will actually paint the sun with chalk. He has a little brush and a little bowl of like liquid chalk paint, and he'll make his way around the sun painting and dip his brush back into the bowl, and he talks to himself a little bit as he does this. Other NPCs actually avoid his little bowl. They don't knock into him or anything, so that's a really fun little detail that I spent a lot of time just sitting here watching him. There was something really kind of charming about it being this whole little special animation that they had put together of him doing all these painting gestures and getting really into it. Of course, I did have to do my obligatory check to see that we could also not knock him over. We couldn't knock over his paint or anything. He's very sturdy, in fact. This is one that I actually almost missed. There are actually flocks of Dazzlewings, which are the larger, more brightly colored male dapper wings that actually continuously fly past the back of the Diva's platform. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be attracted to these flowers or if it's just a migratory pattern for them, but they normally reside in the Scarlet Forest where there is quite a lot of greenery. The flowers here are all orchids. I think we can kind of safely assume that they are from the Scarlet Forest, but I thought it was a really fun detail. Next up, I wanted to investigate what kinds of foods were piled up in the little area that we have for eating our meals here in the Gathering Hub. As you can see, it's lots of tropical fruits, pineapples, and then we also do have some roasted meat, bananas, very common summer fare, I would say. And then when you actually sit down and you eat the special Flamefete barbecue meal, you get kind of an assortment of all of these things. And so here we have all of the meat. Obviously, it's a barbecue, so makes sense. Very delicious, as Monhun always does. And there is also a watermelon, which, as you can see, our palico actually spits all the seeds back in, which I thought was really cute. During the day, you will also spot some of these woodwoods that are relaxing in various places. There's two that relax near the Rathalos and the Rathian sculptures, and then there's one that actually just chills out and has a nice little float along in the pond. It has a little tropical drink with it. Very relaxed, very chill vibes. I actually really enjoyed just watching all the fish swimming underneath. They were a little bit more frenetic than this Woodwood. You will notice later on in this animation that the Woodwood does actually drink from the tropical drink, but otherwise it's kind of just enjoying the sunshine. I'm not sure if this is actually unique to Flamefete, but you can sometimes see a rainbow just over the falls, and so I thought that was a really sweet detail. I mean, it's a very colorful festival anyway, but we also got this kind of nice natural color coming in. I will say, although the Flamefete Festival does really shine during the day, I think at night is when everything really starts to come alive. And there's just so many different shows and little animations happening all at once. Like these Woodwoods climb on top of each other and do a little fire show for the other Palicos. It's super cute. They are a little bit precariously balanced, but they seem to be having quite a good time. And as far as I could tell, nobody is lit on fire, so I think we are all safely performing. Next up, actually in front of the Rathian sculpture and behind the Rathalos sculpture, we actually have these Woodwoods doing these fire performances. There's a couple different variations of the actual performance and they're quite long, but they spin these double-sided sticks. Sometimes they also break the sticks in half. And they do a whole little dance, and then sometimes they take a little bit of a break to hang out for a sec. It must be tiring work, very hot out there, you know? But yeah, they're really cute. You can see them going, and they really only do this during the evening. Once all the fires come on, they'll start spinning. Sometimes, though, they'll do this balancing act. This is a little bit rarer variation, but they will actually accidentally light themselves on fire. Quite frenetic, a little bit terrifying. They do seem to be okay and be able to put it out, but that was a little something that I noticed as I was watching them for quite a long time. And finally, we have the big fireworks show. I'm not a huge fan of fireworks in real life because they are very loud, but I do like them in video games. These ones are very colorful. They do feature myriads, which are the butterflies from the Scarlet Forest, and Dazzlewings, which we saw flying past the area earlier. Slightly rarer to see during the fireworks show is actually a firework of what I believe is supposed to be either a jewel scarab or a regal jewel scarab. There is a possibility that it is a prism hercudrome, but considering that most of the other creatures in the fireworks show are actually from the Scarlet Forest, I think we can safely assume that it is a jewel scarab or a regal jewel scarab, but it is really beautiful. You'll see it slightly below the Dazzlewing and the Myriad, so just keep an eye out for that one. And now we come to the end of the fireworks show and the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed these details so far, and hopefully you also get to see the Rathian and Rathalos at the end of the big fireworks show during Flamefete.